And do you want to give a couple of minutes of background of yourself such that the kids know you more?
No problem. So, well, thank you so much. You said some really kind things. So I'm Shayma. I'm currently the CEO and co-founder of a company called Granted. Our primary goal is to actually, the ultimate vision is to put on amazing exclusive experiences and actually showcase up and coming musical artists or up and coming athletes, and really showcase a lot of their talent, since we now live in this world where a lot of them don't get the credit that they deserve, especially when they're starting out in their careers. So that's the ultimate goal of Granted. And our starting point is to sell tickets and to put on these really interesting auctions and events. So our website is granted.co. Feel free to check it out. We're going through a big rebrand, but we just launched in April. So we're still very new. It's still very challenging. It's still very scary, but fun all in all. And then I previously came from a company called Omaze. Omaze is actually a fundraising platform. So you can go to omaze.com and you can bid on everything from, getting entries to meet Robert Downey Jr. all the way to winning a car or something like that. And at Omaze, a portion of all of the proceeds of people that enter goes to a charity of choice. So that was a really, really interesting experience for me. I led up our product marketing team there. And then before that, I've done everything from the fashion industry to customer service to, staying within social impact and entertainment. But I primarily have brought a lot of my product marketing background on a technical level to a lot of companies in entertainment, and frankly, places where industries are a little bit slower moving. So not as fast paced as Silicon Valley, but I grew up in Los Altos, so Silicon Valley native myself, and now I'm in Los Angeles and trying to bring a lot of that innovation to the table over here.
Fantastic. So that's very exciting. Wish you the best for what you're doing. It sounds an amazing path to go to. And so let's start. Let's have the first company to go ahead. I think we have Aisha. Can you please start? Go ahead, please. And this time, as I'll talk to all kids, still you have to have the standard pitch of introducing yourself and the company and your team and all those, and then very fast on the product, but the focus is on the marketing strategy. Aisha, do you like to go ahead, please? You are on mute, and let me see, sometimes we have the issues. Aisha, sorry, you have a problem. Okay, so then let's go to super capable team. Can you please go ahead? Aisha, you can get ready and solve the issue and come later, okay? Go ahead. Okay. So our...
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I don't know why it's lagging a lot. Okay, there we go. Okay, so hello, we are SCT. I am the CEO of SCT. My name is Ava, and we have people from Azerbaijan and the US from 2nd to 9th grade. And this is our product. So we currently have 2 products we are working on. One is the character library, which is basically something where you can simulate anything you want in PolyUp that has to do with a human presence. And then we also have workshops we are creating to show more people about PolyUp and basically spread learning all around. So let's check out the character library. So for the character library, it's a new library that we just created to give people access to customize people and avatars inside any machine. And a machine is basically just a simulation. So now let me show you what we can do with it. Okay, so here's an example. over here we have basically a person pointing to a whiteboard with a math problem on it. So we can do that, and we can also make this person move. So I haven't quite yet simulated to make it move, but basically what this does is give you access to anything that has to do with a human presence and make any simulation with any person in it. So now here's another example. So here's a building. Now, what if you wanted to create a person to put coming out of that building, coming out of an apartment? So how you do this is you could use the character library, which is inside this section right here, and you can create a person that is coming out and you can animate them. So this is an easy way to basically create a simulation with a human presence in it. And that's the beauty of it, because you can create pretty much anything you want related to a human just using this one library. Okay, so now let's go back. So now the second thing we're working on are workshops. So currently we have 2 workshops, and one of them is STEM-her, which we are pretty much done with. This is a previous workshop that I believe we have finished all 4 of the workshops we made with them. And the other one is GSV. So let's first take a look at what we did with first STEM-her. So STEM-her was a nonprofit that focuses on bringing STEM to young girls. We made a 4-week workshop with them for 10 kids on average per session, ages 9 to 15, and they're all from 6 different countries. And now let's take a look at GSV Startup Bootcamp. So the GSV Bootcamp is a program hosted by a VC, GSV, about companies, growth mindset, and more. And we are currently in contact with one of their employees, Anita Rahman, and a few others in GSV. And we are planning on getting more information about GSV into this presentation, but we haven't had time to do that. Okay, so for marketing, we're going to make 2 one-minute videos using the PolyUp platform, which will include that previous machine we showed to you, but we haven't completely finished creating the videos yet because it takes a while to edit them, which is why we can't show them right now. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Great, thank you. Shayma, any thoughts or questions or conversation? Don't go off, please remain there and be able to have a conversation with Shayma. Great.
Well, first, remind me to send you my resume so that I can get hired by all of these people. When the time comes, I'm already so impressed. I think what you're doing is really amazing. I'm incredibly impressed. I think that you have a really great, one thing that I love that you're doing today, which is something that a lot of my colleagues are still struggling with, is being concise and explaining the product, you know, in a really tight and direct fashion. And so you're doing that, which is awesome. What I will say is from a marketing standpoint, with the few products that you have, honestly, marketing, the reason I love marketing, yes, I know that there's all these tools and there's paid marketing and all these different things, and it can be a little bit more overwhelming today. Ultimately, you're just telling stories. So I definitely encourage you to look at some of the brands that you find particularly inspiring. And if you're not exactly sure, you know, how to go about marketing strategy, you can always just pull from what's already happening in the world around you. In your case specifically, the 2 things that really stand out to me as a marketer are, number 1, you're focusing on something that is incredibly relevant in our space today, which is personalization. And customization. So I would go really heavy with that story. I mean, really across all the products that you're featuring, but ultimately making people feel like you can be and you can do anything you want to be. And especially with, you know, AR and VR out in the world, what you're creating is a deeper connection to PolyUp, a deeper connection to the product. You're creating a bridge that didn't exist before. And that's the marketing story I would really tell, is that put yourself now in this experience, you know, get one step closer. These are the kinds of things that are really going to resonate with people. And then I love what you're doing with STEM-her. I mean, I think that's incredible. Also, as a woman, you know, I think like it's such a current topic, especially in marketing, is to showcase the abilities that women have, and to speak to young women and really open up the doors for them, and talk to them in a way where you can say, don't limit yourself. You can be anybody you want to be. You can be any kind of woman you want to be. And if this product isn't for you, just give it a try, because these are also women in a really impressionable time in their lives where they're seeking for identity from different places in social media and all these different places. So your product gives them an option to try something different, to try something new that people aren't advertising to them. I hope that's helpful, but those are my initial thoughts. But seriously, amazing. Like, I'm so impressed.
All right, thank you so much.
Fantastic, thank you. That's great. So let's go next to Samurai.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jagan. I'm a 7th grade student from India. And let me start this pitch with a question. Have you ever thought that climate change was impossible to solve? Luckily, we have a magical plant that can solve climate change. Before that, let me introduce our team. Our team's name is Samurai Velocity, and we have team members from India, Kenya, New Zealand, Nigeria, and Rwanda. So this is a global movement. We focus on solving SDGs with the velocity and agility of the samurai. That is, we focus on solving sustainable development goals. You can know more about our team on our website. Now, let me tell you about that magical plant. It's bamboo. Now, why bamboo? Bamboo has 3 main characteristics. It's fast, cheap, and adaptable. It is the fastest growing plant ever and grows for nearly 2.9 feet per day. Its seeds the cost of seeds is very less compared to other trees at just 20 cents per seed. And it adapts to any type of climate and is proven to withstand even drought, which makes it perfect. Now, let me tell you about our solution. Our solution is to convert coal power plants to bamboo biomass plants. This diagram here explains how it will work. First, this is the bamboo plantation. In coal power plants, there is a storage facility called the coal yard, where coal is stacked and stored. Instead of the coal, we'll be planting bamboo there. And you can see in this picture, half of the bamboo is separated. So this half of the bamboo is used for electricity. So it's first sent to the bamboo storage, then it's sent to the actual biomass plant, and then is used to generate electricity. However, while generating electricity, CO2 is produced. This CO2 is again absorbed back to the bamboo to give a positive feedback loop, which gives a carbon neutral impact. Now, this was the first half of the bamboo. The other half has the carbon negative impact, as it stores the bamboo and locks it in the bamboo stems. Now, this bamboo stems can again be sent to the storage and then sent back to other facilities for converting it into limestone, buildings, furniture, etc. It will be sent to other companies for them to convert it into useful products. This is our business model. It has 4 stages. The first stage is the prepare stage. We prepare all the things required for the transition. That is the drone, the seeds, and the harvester. Then we prepare the transition. That is, the drone plants bamboo on the coal yard for electricity. Then sequester. As I mentioned before, half of the bamboo does the real sequestration and locks it in products such as furniture, limestone, buildings, etc. And the last part is solar. Now, this is a phase that we have worked on only recently. So what we plan is that when we convert the coal power plants to bamboo biomass plant, it will still generate some harmful gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. To eliminate that, this half of the bamboo you see here, which was used for electricity generation, will be used for a solar farm. That is, solar panels will be laid out. To construct this solar farm to generate electricity, we will use the profit generated by selling the bamboo for all these products. And then the half use by selling the bamboo, we get profit. Some of the profit, as I told you before, we will use it to convert this half of the bamboo part into a solar farm, and the rest will be used to convert a new coal plant, and the cycle repeats. We also have run a simulation on PolyUp, which shows the details of a 4,000 megawatt coal power plant after conversion. So the coal yard size of this 4,000 megawatt power plant was 250 acres. And by planting bamboo on this 250 acres, these are the results. It generates 4,099 megawatts of electricity. It sequesters 9.4 million tons in 1 year. And it cost $133.5 thousand, but we get a profit of $6,222.5, around $600,000 per year. Now we have finalized the idea and we are on the marketing phase. Our idea is our marketing strategy is a 1-minute inspirational video. Let me show you the impact, or how 1-minute inspirational video can have such an impact. These two companies here, Apple and Nike, have used a 1-minute inspirational video, and it has have such a good impact that they have turned to multi-billion-dollar companies. That is the impact of a 1-minute inspirational video. Our video story is to inspire people and tell anyone that everyone can change the world. And by showing how a common plant called bamboo can save humanity from such a big problem like climate change, we can get people really interested into this solution. And it will inspire people, especially in countries where bamboo is commonly found, such as India, Kenya, New Zealand, etc. And they'll be amazed to see this idea. Our plan is to convey this message to everybody through social media to inspire the youth of the world. I hope you like our solution. And one more thing before I end it, it will also be personalized based on the location. By personalizing the ad based on location, we can have a better impact on local people that inspires them. For example, in places like Kenya, we can show that this type of bamboo, which is commonly found in Kenya, can have this impact by planting a lot of it in that area. This could help them really understand how useful bamboo can be in electricity production. I hope you like this idea, and thanks for listening.
Great, thank you. Shayma, go ahead, please.
I feel like a very deep kinship to what you're doing, and I have to absolutely commend you, because not only are you focusing on something that's so important, you've clearly given it so much thought, and I think that your presentation does a fantastic job of expressing, how sustainable bamboo is. From a marketing perspective, I think your biggest challenge is going to be education, because you clearly have all the facts. And one thing I love that you noted too was like how that in Kenya, there's a specific type of bamboo that is actually very available to those people that can help them. Those are the things that in your marketing techniques, education is going to be at its core. I love that you're already looking at some sort of big guns brands that have done marketing really, really well. I'd also actually look at brands like there's a clothing company called Everlane. I would take a look at their stuff because they focus on sustainable products. So really at the end of the day, it's about fashionable clothing, but they do a really good job explaining how their products are extremely sustainable. And I think they educate people to make them feel like, okay, I like how this looks, but I actually really want to purchase it because I know it's really good for the world. I would look at a lot of companies that have a sustainable element, whether it's Tom's, you can look at some bigger brands like that. One thing that I did want to say, I love the name. I love Samurai Velocity. And honestly, it actually really fits your goal because samurais, like, and you could even say this in your marketing, like samurais actually, not only are they really aggressive and they are agile and swift and were warriors, but they actually were really, really deeply connected to the natural world. And that was one of their biggest strengths. And so to come out and say that we really need to fight for climate change, that's why you kind of use the samurai as your emblem, so to speak. So I would definitely, I think education is going to be the biggest part. I love that you want to amplify social media. I would go really, really hard on TikTok. I would, because you should show people, show people. And the other thing, the last thing I'll say is I would even, because you have so many amazing data points, I would actually give your data points first in marketing and say, what if I told you there's a product that's this, 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 this? Did you know it's bamboo and it's right in your backyard? When you come at that angle, people will stop and go, whoa, I didn't even realize, because we've heard about bamboo. We know that bamboo exists. We go to grocery stores, we go out, we see that people are talking about bamboo products, but I'll be honest with you, I wasn't as educated until you just explained it to me today. And now I feel like I'm only going to focus on bamboo products. So, that's kind of like it in a nutshell. But I have to say, I'm extremely impressed and I'm so excited to follow you guys and see what you do because this is great.
Thank you very much for your advice and suggestions. And also you told about using Samurai Velocity as an emblem. Actually, we chose the name Samurais because we wanted to tell that we have the courage to try new ideas and innovate just like ninjas.
I love that. I love that. And then you can also incorporate that whole element that samurais and ninjas they're so ancient and they come from a place where the natural world, the climate was where it was supposed to be when samurais and ninjas were around. So if you add that to your marketing, I think it's great. I love that.
Yeah, thank you very much for the idea.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. That was great. So we have the next one. Let me see. Offer from CTT. Can you please go ahead?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Afag. I am from Azerbaijan. I am 14 years old. Now I am beginning present. Creative technology team. Our team is one of the startups in PolyUp. We create different, interesting, creative, and useful machines at PolyUp. We are working to make better. To do this, we created the alphanumeric.
So Offer, you have a internet issue. My suggestion is maybe stop your video, just see if it helps the bandwidth. Just keep your shared. Okay, go ahead now.
We have team members from US, Kenya, Azerbaijan, and Palestine. Sorry for the internet problem.
So we see that your team members slide. Have you changed the
Yes.
slide?
But internet is very slow.
Okay, no problem. So how about you continue tell your story is okay. Just continue the story. Go ahead.
Okay. We have created alphanumerical library, and it helps users to write something on their machines. I had a video on the slide about this, and we have a marketing strategy. We can share information about PolyUp with our classmates and friends at school. And because there are some students that doesn't know anything about PolyUp, and they don't know what can do in the PolyUp. And if we say that, if we talk about PolyUp and how PolyUp is interesting on math, they can join the Innovation Hub, and we can increase the number of students. And also, we have social media strategy, because we can see that there are many children that use social media today. And I saw that people use some videos of machines on PolyUp, because I had a video about some machines on PolyUp homepage, and I saw that the number of views of this video is increasing day by day. And that's why we can share more than one video, more than one machines and games with PolyUp. Then people can see different ideas. People can see that they can create different ideas on PolyUp. This is our marketing strategy. Sorry for the slide. I couldn't show this to you.
No worries, Ava. Your story was very strong, and you said it, so it's fine. The alphanumeric library that your team does is amazing and fantastic. Every machine is using that. That's great, and very interesting ideas on the videos. I'll let Shayma go ahead. Shayma, please go ahead.
Yes, no, don't worry at all. I think that ultimately, one thing I can tell you, and I'm sure you experience this all the time, just as a CEO, but especially in marketing, it's all about improvisation. So you're always going to have some sort of technical issue or something, and that's okay. You keep going with the story. I think that what you guys have created is absolutely incredible. I'm very, very impressed. It's your marketing strategy. It seems like you've already thought about it, which I really love. You've already put work into it, which is fantastic. But ultimately what you're doing is you're expanding horizons and you're creating a lot more connection within an existing platform. So your marketing strategy is probably going to be a lot more B2B or business to business, because what you're doing is you are talking to consumers, but you are mostly kind of articulating something that's happening within the platform for people who are using the platform. So I would say, oh, this is great. I'm finally, okay, fantastic. So I would say that similarly to the last presentation, education is going to be a big kind of hump for you guys to go through, because when you hear alphanumeric library at first, that can be a little bit confusing, especially if you don't know much about the platform. So you may want to focus a little bit on explaining the platform just a tad, and then going into how your product basically optimizes that platform and makes it even more seamless. But I think what you've done is really smart, because you've basically taken something that exists and learned how to make it even better. And that's a really strong case. That's so many companies have been built on that rather than creating something absolutely new from scratch. So I absolutely love this. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you
That's
for your.
We are seeing now. We saw all of your slides. Do you want to show that video? Go back and show a couple of videos that you did. Do you want to show one?
I would like to show.
Yeah,
this
just show
here.
this. Yes, go ahead.
For example, this is a video of how I solved the rectangle area race on PolyUp. And I shoot and share videos of these games on Poly Arcade, and other students can watch this and they can play as me.
Amazing. Yeah, I love that. You're demonstrating your product. That's like exactly what you need to be doing in your marketing to educate.
This is fantastic, Afaq. So let me tell a big news just here. There are few of the countries now the agreement has been made that different organizations are supporting significant number of students to come. In Rwanda, there are going to be 300,000 students are going to come and fall. In Azerbaijan would be tens of thousands of students. In US would be the same. In India, they're pushing thousands of students right now to come. So there are many countries right now that are opening the door for tens of thousands of students come, some cases 100,000 of students. So you are going to have an amazing opportunity to have your messaging and buzz to go around and then talking to this audience that's going to come. So if there's a hurricane on the horizon for all of you, that you can ride it so well. And over the work of the summer and the past few months, you're getting ready for it. So it's going to be very exciting over the next few weeks when these challenges go up. And we're going to have discussion on this in Discord such that you all know and be ready. And they're very important to talk to the local partner, like in Azerbaijan, in India, in Palestine, in Rwanda, in Kenya. All of you should, and in US, you should talk to the local partners about what's coming up. Okay, very good. And then the presentation also is very nice. Afaq, we saw all the slides.
Thank you.
That was very good. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have Aisha, the last one. Aisha, go ahead, please.
Okay. Sorry, 1 minute.
No problem.
Can you see my screen?
It's coming up.
Can you see?
Yes, we can see. Can you put it on the presentation, please? Presentation mode.
I'm Aisha and I'm from Azerbaijan. I'm the CEO of Technological Features Startup. My team members are from India, Azerbaijan, Nigeria, Rwanda, and Ireland. What are we doing? People are constantly polluting nature and using excess use to justify themselves. Putting this excess use aside, we are trying to save the future of our world by developing technology. And one of the most pressing issues in recent years is a significant increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. And we think that algae can help us a lot in solving this problem. Algae replicates the same process like trees, but absorbs the carbon in the form of more algae. Algae also can consume more carbon dioxide than trees because it can grow faster and be more easily controlled by the bioreactors. What we use to grow microalgae? Productive soil and the wastewater, CO2 from power plant, and sunlight. What will be gained by growing microalgae? More oxygen, more clean water, and the algae biomass for the production of biofuels and other products. And this is our PolyUp machine, the solution simulation. And also this is our website. And we plan to make videos in different languages. We are currently making videos in Azerbaijani and English. However, we plan to make videos in other languages as well. We will share these videos on YouTube. And thanks for listening.
Thank you. Again, I love that you're focused on something that's so important for the world. You're already going to have so many people listening because this is an issue that hits home with so many people who want to improve the environment. Again, like I would say, similarly to bamboo, I would educate about algae. I mean, I would have never thought that it's such an important thing. And, you know, algae is something that, like, I think a lot of people even try to For example, like if you leave a tank out or water with like a filter in it or something and algae forms, people think algae is not a good thing. They're like, oh, that's an infection, we have to get rid of it. Educating people on why algae is actually a really incredible substance and why we shouldn't like seek to get rid of it is really, really important. I also think that turning your presentation into a video where you are explaining that, since you were moving through it swiftly, is great because it gives a really, really clear idea of how we should use a more sustainable product. I also think that kind of focusing on places where we can get more algae and how we can kind of utilize that would be really great in terms of teaching people, because maybe a really large component of what you're doing is showing people how common algae is, because I think it is a product that people know exists, but they don't really understand it very well. And so focusing on that will really teach people. So I love it. I love what you're doing. I think that it's a really, really, really smart idea.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So Shayma, do you that was very good. You would could you give us some overview based on what you saw and any kind of inputs and guidance you have for the kids how to create a large buzz? I mean, if you can give them some cues on that, that would be very good, such that in fall that is coming toward them, and with all the stuff that all the products that they did and the videos they can make, how they can create virality, reach. What are the ways to do that? That would be great if you can give us some ideas.
The greatest thing is today you have so many tools at your fingertips to help you optimize your social. The biggest one I would say is TikTok. Go heavy on TikTok. Utilize TikTok. It has, and I'm sure a lot of you are already on it. You're already users. You're probably already putting your videos on there. I couldn't stress more how much you should focus on that platform, because it truly is a platform that is very unique in that its algorithm is built to showcase content that doesn't necessarily have a lot of engagement. Now that TikTok has been building in advertisements and sponsorships so that people are getting paid content, it's going to definitely become a lot more, I would say, like busy, and there's definitely going to be a learning curve in TikTok that we're already kind of sensing, where advertisers don't really know how to advertise their products in TikTok, but then, you know, users are kind of like, we're getting some data, but not a lot of data. This is like the right time to come in and teach your audience about your product and make it engaging and make it funny, and don't be worried about getting anything wrong. Like, even if you get a video out there and you try to comedic approach, let's say to climate change, which seems like a really, really, you know, intense, serious topic, give it a try, because the worst thing that's going to happen is it's not going to get a lot of views, and there's so much content out there that it's no harm, no foul. With marketing, it's all about trial and error. It's all about testing new things. And it's all about making mistakes, frankly, which I know that sometimes it can feel scary because you want to get it right the first time. That's not what marketing is. Marketing is about trying things and reading the data and seeing what sticks. And that's a very unique thing about it that I personally love. The other thing that I would say is definitely give people a call to action. So when you're getting people invested, what I mean by that is there's lots of free and very easy email subscription platforms to use. There's MailChimp, there's SendGrid. I'm happy to send some of these after, but basically create an email subscription list so that when you get people interested in your product, you can very easily put together some email marketing messages to keep them in the loop about your product. And that will really increase engagement on your channels. Finally, definitely use Instagram to your advantage. So, you know, creating Instagram, I think Facebook is a great place to show videos and long form content. I would take the 1-minute videos that you're doing, splice them up into clips, which should be really, really easy with platforms that are out there. I mean, even ones that are probably embedded on your computer or on your phone, you can even do it. splice them up into clips and use that as like short form advertisement for your product. And try to post as consistently as possible. Don't be deterred by how many likes you're getting. Don't be deterred by how many followers you have, because you don't know how many impressions you're getting, which is just the number of people that are seeing your content but maybe not engaging with your content. So I would say push as much as you can, try everything you can. And then the last thing I would say is, from a marketing perspective, think about, if you, especially for those of you who have multiple products, think about how your product can be really easily digested in one sentence, one easy sentence. Users we give them a lot of credit, but things can be really challenging for people to digest, especially when you're scrolling through your feed and you're only spending a couple seconds on each product. So definitely take a look, sit down and say, ask your friends, ask people, ask your family, ask people who have never ever heard of what you're doing, give them one sentence on the product, and then ask them, say, so do you understand what we do? And, or say, can you explain to me what you think we do? And if they explain it to you and they're wrong, then you know that it's your marketing and that you actually have to condense it a little bit more and make it a little bit easier to digest. So take in all the feedback, take it with grace. And, you know, this was mentioned earlier, but also you're all doing such incredible things. And I'm sure people tell you this all the time, but at your age, the amount of thought that you've put into all these products, the amount of work you've done is incredibly unique. I personally, in my career, I mean, I'm going to seem like ancient compared to you guys, but I'm 29, and I'll be honest with you, for most of my career, I didn't want to tell people how old I was, as I was leading big teams with people who were 10, 15 years older than me. I used to hide from it all the time. I just had a conversation with a public relations agency on Friday that wanted to talk about Granted, and I was too scared to tell them how old I was, even though I knew it would be probably smart. Don't hide away from it. It's not your fault that you're really smart at a young age. And people are just going to be so impressed by you, and they're going to be so impressed by the work you're doing. And if you can achieve this much now at the age that you are now, I mean, imagine what you're going to do when you're as ancient as 29. So I'm just so impressed. Seriously, you guys are doing amazing work.
Fantastic. Thank you. That was very inspiring discussion. So we have some questions. We're going to go a little bit over 10. Is that okay with you, Shayma? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
So let's go. Jagan, go ahead, please. What's your question?
Yeah, I had a question. So do you think YouTube is a good place for short marketing videos?
YouTube is a great place to put your content so that it can live forever. If you want to market your product to people who have never seen it before, so acquisition, getting new users, I would definitely recommend doing it on TikTok and Instagram. These two platforms, and Facebook, honestly, but the two that I said first, and making it really short form, less than 30 seconds, honestly, less than even 20 if you can, but then have that full-length video live on YouTube and link out to your YouTube from your social channels. So there's a platform called Linktree, and you'll probably see it a lot in people's profiles where, you know, you'll click on the link in their bio and it's a link tree with different options. Put your YouTube channel in there, and then people can go and look at your long-form content.
Okay, thank you very much for your advice.
Of course.
Great, thank you. So next, Afaq, go ahead, please.
I have a question. What do you think? What we should add to the videos to engage students?
I would focus on the first 20 seconds being either funny, engaging, telling a story. That first 20 seconds is where you really capture people. After that, if they continue to watch, then you know you've created something really engaging. And I know you want to educate people and make the message really clear. And when you're a CEO, you believe so fully in your product, as you should, that you want to focus on getting all the technical aspects of it out there so that people really understand how important it is. But actually what's really important is how to grab them. So, you know, whether your story, think about your story on a higher level. Is it personalization? Is it customization? Is it making people feel special? Is it giving people the opportunity to do more? Make it as simple as possible and get people in with that first 15 seconds and then tell your story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I have a question, Shayma. One of the things which is unique, usually you have products and then the companies go and use social media to talk about the products, make a buzz. That's the standard thing happens. Something special happening here is the product that the kids have, it actually, they can simulate and they can visually make the videos about that inside them, the 3D environment in the PolyUp, they can build it. So actually the product itself is an authoring tool to build the content. Any ideas how to leverage this even more? Because it's kind of a next level of the, kind of ability they have on the storytelling, how to make the story to be a 3D animation. How can they leverage that to make it more grabbing?
Absolutely use these demos to inspire people. Honestly, if I may, what I would actually do is also vary your content. You have this great demonstration tool of PolyUp. So one aspect is going to be kind of teaching people about PolyUp. And the second aspect is going to be teaching people about what you're doing within PolyUp, and that's how you use it. So if, for example, you're putting out content on TikTok, put some things that are kind of funny using PolyUp, and then also educate people on the actual machine that you're building within PolyUp. This way you're teaching people, okay, let me get you engaged with this kind of like tool that I'm using that can do anything. And then let me then teach you how I actually have used this product to create something really interesting. So educating on both forms of content is going to be really important, because to a certain extent, people might need to learn a little bit more about PolyUp to understand what you're doing.
Fantastic. That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate it. We already 6 minutes over time. Sorry about that. It was amazing discussion. Really appreciate your input. And I'm sure that the Innovation Hub members are going to leverage the inputs you provided a lot.
Yes, thank you so much. This was so great. PolyUp had, I follow PolyUp on LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to even look at things if you want me to. Please use me for anything you need. I'm always happy to help you guys. And I'm so impressed with what you've put together. I really am. I don't say that lightly. I'm not easily impressed, but I've really been blown away today. And you've really inspired me to want to make more change with my business. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. The kids consider you as an advisor to their companies, Shayma.
Yes, I'm really excited. Please reach out to me. I'm always available.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. I let you go and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
So we continue with the kids. Okay, so first of all, that was a very good set of presentations. A lot of focus. Yes. Is there anybody who wants to talk? Okay, so that was a lot of good focus on the marketing side. Very